Love liberates. Dr. Maya Angelou. An unexamined life is not worth living. Plato. Both of these quotes resonate with me deeply, but I'll start with the second one from Plato because it's truly one of the guiding posts of my life. I could have also quoted Auntie O, Oprah, in saying, your life is always speaking to you. Because I also believe that life, the universe, God, is an ever present voice reflecting to you what you most desperately need to know in and for the present moment. So, if you simply listen to what your life is saying, you'll clearly hear the voice of God. By listening, I mean we must pay attention to what's happening around us, particularly when something out of the ordinary occurs. And once we notice that occurrence, we mustn't get caught up in the rat race of life and simply brush it aside, but rather spend some time doing what Plato encourages, actually examining our life, asking ourselves the hard questions of why, how, and what does that mean? This is actually something I do daily as I attempt to live into my highest values and the greatest, most authentic expression of who I am. Having said that, this weekend offered me an excellent opportunity to examine my life and to hear what lesson it was trying to teach. As I write this, it's Sunday evening but on both Friday and Saturday, I had conversations that took me aback and made me really reflect. I would like to go into greater detail because if you've read my blog with any regularity, you know I believe in transparency. But because the conversations involved two people that many of my readers may know or at least know of, I won't offer the details, but I'll simply say the overall feeling of the conversations were not positive and both left me feeling anxious and sad. To make a long story short, let me simply say that I would not consider myself a confrontational person, and as a pretty laid-back guy, I don't regularly have words with persons, especially those that I care about. So each conversation left me rattled. However, or maybe I should say, but God. Watch this 1, 2, 3 knockout. After the second conversation, one was Friday, the other occurred Saturday, I felt the need to examine my life, and while doing so, it became clear to me that there seemed to be one element that both conversations shared. As a result of each conversation and the things the other persons said to me during them, I recognized that the predominant feeling felt by me was guilt. Punch one. As I briefly shared these conversations with the Sunday school class that I teach, one lady interrupted me and said unequivocally, Ray, you haven't forgiven yourself. You have to learn to forgive yourself. Punch two. When I left that church and went to pick up my son from another church he had to sing in the children's choir there, I caught the end of the pastor's sermon during which he walked to my section, looked straight in my direction and said, God says there is someone in this section on my left who is struggling with forgiving themselves. God says you must forgive yourself to free yourself from the past so that you can receive what God has for you in the future. Huh. Punch three. Can the universe communicate to me any clearer? And to be honest, I almost missed it. When the pastor said that briefly, I thought, wow, what a powerful word for someone. And then I immediately, thank God, said, hey, that's for me. To prevent this post from being too long, I'll stop here for now, but I wanted to at least share this testimony with you. I'll update you later this week because I plan to spend some time praying and meditating on forgiveness of self. I believe, as those of us who grew up in church can attest, religion has done a good job teaching us guilt and confession and repentance, but has not taught us what it really means to walk in redemption, forgiveness, and grace. These conversations left me troubled because both persons reached back years and threw some element of the past in my face. Again, not to go into detail because I want to protect their privacy. But the bottom line is this. Whatever whomever says to us about what may or may not be true about the past, the fact remains it's the past for a reason. In order for us to move forward in all of the greatness the future holds, we must forgive ourselves into health and wholeness. As Maya reminds us, love liberates, even when, and especially when, that love is directed towards ourselves. We must love ourselves completely, unapologetically, and without condition. For if we love ourselves, we will liberate ourselves into emotional and spiritual health. It's been a while since I've blogged regularly, so please forgive me if I'm a little rusty, but I didn't want the day to pass without my sharing this with you. I have a few more things to say on this topic, so stay tuned, especially as I share what is shown to me through this meditation assignment. I pray that as I learn to wholly forgive myself, that I can share some insight that might help you completely do the same. In the meantime, please remember, this is not the end of our story. Our best days are not behind us. They are ahead of us. Each morning offers a new mercy, so don't waste yours. Reach out and grab it, so you'll be ready to receive all of the big things coming. Note, if you're new to the site, it might be helpful to read the first introductory post. Also, feel free to post your questions or comments here, and you can always reach out to me on Twitter at Ray C. Jordan using the hashtag BigThingsComing. Copyright 2014, Ray Jordan. And as always, thank you for reading and listening.